the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening. I am Daniel Moore, in with your VON Major News Package for today, Monday, July 15th, 2019. In our lead stories nationally, St. Kitts and Nevis and Taiwan signed TVET Corporation's agreement, and police seized the 11th illegal firearm for 2019, 3 persons taken into custody. Regionally, Barbados reverses visa-free access for Haitians. Internationally, South Africa's Jacob Zuma denies king of corruption. And in sports, England win first Cricket World Cup. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse, VON.
Welcome back, and now for the national news. An agreement on cooperation in technical and vocational education and training, or TVET, was signed between the governments of St. Kitts and Nevis and the Republic of China Taiwan in a brief but meaningful ceremony on Sunday, July 14th at the Park Hyatt St. Kitts. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Sean Richards, signed the agreement along with Taiwan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Josiah Wu, to assist St. Kitts and Nevis with cultivating vocational education teachers, establishing a comprehensive vocational education system, and providing high school graduates with professional skills. The signing, which was witnessed by the President of the Republic of China, Her Excellency Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, and other dignitaries, formed part of the President's official state visit to St. Kitts and Nevis and other diplomatic allies in the Caribbean, which commenced on July 13th. With this agreement in place, St. Kitts and Nevis and Taiwan are expected to collaborate in the fields of technical and vocational education and training. Where the education is concerned, the two sides will plan and implement projects to cultivate human resources for mid to long-term industry development, provide resources that help students prepare for professional work, and create educational frameworks. On the training aspect, the two sides will plan and implement projects to cultivate human resources for short to mid-term needs, enhance the skills of people who are about to join or already a part of the workforce, and elevate the overall quality and productivity of the workforce. In police news, officers of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force seized an illegal firearm on Saturday, July 13th. According to a police communique, during a search operation executed on Saturday morning, the firearm was found at the house of Newtown Basse-Terre St. Kitts and was brought into police custody. 3 persons were also taken into custody to assist with the investigation into the matter. Moreover, the investigation continues. The VON Newsline contacted the police in St. Kitts for further details on the matter, but to no avail. The number of illegal firearms seized so far 2019 now stands at 11. Back in January 2019, the Nevis Island Administration, or NIA, announced that there was a shortage of nurses on the island, and in recent times, the government has encouraged persons to apply for work in that field. Also in February of this year, human resource needs in the health sector of St. Kitts and Nevis were highlighted at the Health and Human Resource Expo at the 30th Intersessional Meeting of CARICOM. At the time, Chief Medical Officer, or CMO, Dr. Hazel Laws, stated that there is work happening at the JNF Hospital in St. Kitts, specifically in the laboratory, which requires a need for laboratory technicians. She also expressed that there is a need for specialist nurses in various professions. 5 to 6 months later, what is the status of the situation. During a town hall meeting on Thursday, July 11th, Nevis's Premier and Minister of Health, the Honorable Mark Brantley, gave this update on the matter.
We have had, ladies and gentlemen, a shortage of nurses. We continue to encourage young people, of course, to take up nursing. It's a noble profession. But we have had a shortage. We've had difficulties in recruiting. And so what we've done, we've gone outside. And I'm proud to say tonight that we have new nursing staff from St. Kitts, right here in Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and from the Philippines. We've added 12 new nurses, including a triage nurse and 2 male nurses, one specializing in ICU.
Also spoke of nurses that are trained.
We have not stopped there. We have exposed our nurses to advanced training. And I want to specifically thank the government of Taiwan, because through their scholarships, we now have had 2 nurses trained, one with a master's in midwifery and the other with a master's in nursing. And I'm very proud of their achievements. In fact, I believe it's Nurse Hanley, who has only just graduated with a master's degree in nursing from Taiwan.
Nevis's Premier and Minister of Health, the Honorable Mark Brantley. 12 Calypsonians have advanced to the semifinals of the Culturama Senior Calypso competition. The 12 were selected from a field of 21 participants at the quarterfinals, held on Sunday night, July 14th at Esme's Bar. The 12 selected are namely Black Hat, Hollywood, Astro, Nutsy, Puppo Wheeler, Badman Polo, Suki, Daddy Nature, Murray, Irwin, The Undertaker, and Lady Smooth. In other national news,
today is an historic day not only because you've come, but also because on this site where we are, we hope to construct a park that is not like any other park, but a park that we feel is going to be demonstrative of the relationship that we've enjoyed over this past 35 years. I can say that the Republic of China and Taiwan has facilitated and has assisted our people in innumerable ways, in healthcare, in ICT, in infrastructure, and for me, what is dearest to my heart, in building our human capacity.
the Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. Mr. Brantley's remarks came during a ceremony at which ground was broken for the Penny's Beach Recreational Park. The symbolic groundbreaking, held on Sunday, July 14, 2019, was done by Premier Brantley and Taiwan's President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen. President Tsai addressed the gathering using an interpreter.
This particular cooperation project is a true reflection of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. It is friendly to the environment, involves the local community, boasts a sustainable design, and pools resources from all sectors.
President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen. The $3 million project is jointly funded by the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the Nevis Island Administration. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis, led by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, welcomed the President of Republic of China, Taiwan, Her Excellency Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, to the Twin Island Federation on Saturday evening, July 13th. President Tsai, who is on her first state visit to St. Kitts and Nevis from July 13th to the 16th, was warmly greeted at the RLB International Airport with a military salute from an honor guard comprised of soldiers from the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, the Coast Guard Unit, and officers from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The Prime Minister introduced Her Excellency to the members of the Federal Cabinet. Dr. Harris was also introduced to President Tsai's ministerial and parliamentary delegation. While in St. Kitts and Nevis, Her Excellency Tsai Ing-wen participated in events which include witnessing the signing ceremony of a Technical and Vocational Education Cooperation Agreement, visit to the Brimstone Hill Fortress, a tour of the Government House, and engage in a tree planting ceremony and attend a state banquet. A groundbreaking ceremony of the Penny's Recreational Park project was held on Sunday, July 14th at Penny's here on Nevis. 4 of the 10 students who took up the top 10 spots in the recently concluded Test of Standards examinations on Nevis are from the Charlestown Primary School. During a town hall meeting on Thursday, July 11th at the St. George's Anglican Schoolroom, Nevis's Junior Minister of Education, the Honorable Troy Liburd, announced the names of the students and their respective schools.
The top student for this year's Test of Standard was Rusha Sharma, and that student was from the Nevis Academy. The student that placed second was Delcia Budgen from the Charlestown Primary. Then we had Rejon Fifield from the Joycelyn Library Primary. Then Rashvi Rao from the Nevis Academy. Then Jalit Tyson from the Charlestown Primary. Then Shamar Utley from the Joycelyn Library Primary. Jahadon Herbert from the St. Thomas's Primary. Then Kalia Jones from the Charlestown Primary. Then Anhira Wilkes from the Charlestown Primary. And then Tashia Stanley from the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School.
He added that the results are a reflection on the education system.
What this says to us, it gives us an evaluation of how the education system is doing, how the teaching that is being done by our teachers, how the teaching that's being done in our school is getting over to the students. And what we've been able to see from the test of standards as a whole is that the vast majority of the students take the test of standards. A good bit more than 60% of the students are being placed in the top 2 streams in high school. And what that shows is that the vast majority of our students are getting the academic.
Junior Minister of Education here on Nevis, the Honorable Troy Liburd. And finally, in national news, the printing of national identification cards will resume for citizens and residents here in St. Kitts and Nevis. This comes as the Electoral Commission, in a press release issued on Friday, July 12th, announced the resumption of the printing of the national cards effective today, Monday, July 15th. Supervisor of Elections here in St. Kitts and Nevis, Mr. Elvin Bailey, explained to the VON Newsline how individuals can proceed with registering.
The national identification cards will be the final step in the registration process. For those persons who have cards, those cards have expired. They need to come in, bring the old card with them, and make the application for a renewal of the card. A new card will be issued to them. Then picture will be taken, and a new card will be issued to them. Free of cost, of course, because there's no charge for the national identification card.
He noted that persons who have registered in the past can now collect.
There are persons who would have registered and understand that the registration process was continuing, even though we were not printing cards. For those who would have registered, they can now come in and collect their cards. They will need to bring the receipt that was issued to them upon their registration. Now that they have been confirmed to the register, because there's a 2-month waiting process, they can bring their receipt or send somebody to collect the card, as long as they give that person the receipt that they will receive from us, with instructions, of course, to collect it on their behalf.
Supervisor of Elections here in St. Kitts and Nevis, Mr. Elvin Bailey. That's our national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or our Facebook page at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for 2, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family, just swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back, and now for the regional news. A year after scrapping visa requirements for Haitians, the Barbados government has reversed its decision. Barbados Ambassador to the Caribbean Community, David Commisong, said on Thursday, July 11, 2019, that the government was forced to do so because of the large influx of people of Haitian nationality coming from Panama and Chile who are not entitled to work in Barbados. He said the situation was becoming untenable, and a decision was made after extensive consultations with several stakeholders, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Immigration Department, the Ministries of Tourism and Home Affairs, the airlines, and the Grantley Adams International Airport. He said the situation was compounded because no one in Haiti had really explained to them the principles of this free movement program, and the vast majority of them were coming with this mistaken idea that they could simply come to Barbados to work and live, with many of them becoming stranded in Barbados. Ambassador Commisong noted that although Haitians were not coming with any devious intention, they could only work and live in Barbados if they qualified under the CARICOM Skilled Nationals Program or the Right of Establishment Program. Out of Jamaica, 2 men were fatally shot at Zadig Garden, St. Andrew, after attempting to rob an off-duty policeman last evening, the police have said. The incident occurred shortly after 6 p.m. The police have identified one of the dead men as 22-year-old George Thompson. The other man has not yet been identified. Reports from Jamaica Constabulary Force Corporate Communication Unit, or CCU, are that Thompson of Pamela Avenue, Kingston 20, had earlier that day reported on a condition of bail to the Constant Spring Police for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The CCU said Thompson and the unidentified man were traveling aboard a motorcycle with no license plate affixed when they attempted to rob the off-duty policeman. However, they were reportedly challenged by another off-duty policeman who witnessed what was happening. CCU said the policeman who was being robbed then responded with gunfire, killing the men. Out of Dominica, police have arrested 2 male Dominicans on suspicion of drug trafficking in a drug heist worth more than $2 million. Police Public Relations Officer, or PRO, Simon Edwards, said the arrests were made when the fishing vessel which the men occupied was intercepted at sea at about 12:20 p.m. on Friday, July 5, 2019. 343 pounds of alleged cannabis weed and 15 kilograms of alleged cocaine were found on the vessel. The men, the vessel, and drugs were taken into police custody, Edwards reported. He revealed that the estimated street value of the alleged cannabis is EC $1,716,541. The estimated street value of the alleged cocaine is EC $405,000, amounting to a total value of EC $2,121,541. Edwards says investigations are ongoing. And finally, in our regional news segment, out of St. Thomas, USVI, U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents seized last Tuesday $372,000 in undeclared currency found inside a duffel bag on the beach near a vessel found in Bordeaux Bay. Director of Air and Marine Operations for the Caribbean Air and Marine Branch, Johnny Morles, stated that transitional criminal organizations seek to conceal and move currency from their activities. On July 9th, Air and Marine Operations, or AMO, Marine Interdiction Agents, received a call from a concerned citizen about a suspicious boat making landfall in Bordeaux Bay, St. Thomas. The caller stated that 3 men on board were intentionally beached off a 20-foot Boston whaler. The MIAs responded by vehicle to the area and noticed a single duffel bag still sitting in the sand near the boat with a Puerto Rico registration. Agents conducted a sweep of the area but were unable to locate any of the suspects. Inside the duffel bag, agents found an undetermined amount of cash in a vacuum-sealed packages. The undeclared currency totaled $370,000. U.S. Homeland Security investigations assumed custody of the seized currency and investigation. On July 7th, AMO seized $3.7 million in undeclared currency found inside 5 duffel bags on board an abandoned vessel near the coast of Fajardo. That's it for regional news. International news is up next. Welcome back, and now for the international news. South Africa's former president Jacob Zuma has told a judge-led inquiry that allegations of corruption against him were a conspiracy aimed at removing him from the political scene.
There has been a drive to remove me from the scene, a wish that I should disappear. And it arises out of perhaps my work in the ANC, and also because of who I am.
He was appearing for the first time at the inquiry, which is investigating allegations that he oversaw a web of corruption during his term in office. His supporters cheered when he entered the building. Mr. Zuma, 77, was forced to resign as president in February 2018. The Democratic Republic of Congo has confirmed the first case of Ebola in the eastern city of Goma, a major transport hub. The World Health Organization, or WHO, said the case could be a game changer, given that the city's large population of more than 2 million people. But the WHO expressed confidence in the plans to deal with the diagnosis. The Democratic Republic of Congo's health ministry said a pastor tested positive after arriving in a city bus on Sunday. More than 1,600 people have died since the Ebola outbreak began in Eastern Democratic of Congo a year ago, the second biggest outbreak ever. And finally, in our international news, anti-terrorism police in northern Italy have seized an air-to-air missile and other sophisticated weapons during raids on a far-right extremist group. These people were arrested. Three people were arrested, 2 of them near Forlì Airport. Neo-Nazi propaganda was also seized in the raids. The raids were part of an investigation into Italian far-right help for Russian-backed separatist forces in eastern Ukraine, local media said. The missile was one of those used by the Qatari army, Italian police said. Italian media named those arrested as Fabio Del Borgiolio, aged 50, an Italian ex-custom officer and far-right Forza Nuova party activist, Alessandro Motti, aged 42, a Swiss national, and Fabio Bernaldi, aged 51, also Italian. That's it for international news. The latest in sports is up next.
Get the hottest summer deal on your vehicle from TDC Automotive and pay no deposit. Finance your vehicle at the lowest interest rate ever with TDC Financial Services for as low as $775 per month. We're giving you 1 year free insurance with TDC Insurance Company on selected models. Free insurance? Now that's hot! Save even more with free servicing for up to 1 year. Free licensing, registration, accessories, and tinting. Save thousands and get lit with the hottest summer deal from TDC Automotive. We're #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and now into sports. England beat New Zealand to win the Men's World Cup for the first time after a barely believable final at Lord's was tied twice. An emotional and electric atmosphere at the home of cricket, both sides scored 241 in their 50 overs and were level on 15 when they battled for an extra over apiece. It meant England was crowned world champions by virtue of having scored more boundary 4s and 6s, 24 to New Zealand 16 in the match. These are the scores. New Zealand 241 for 6 with 50 overs. Nichols 55, Wokes 3 for 37, Plunkett 3 for 42. England 241 all out for 50 overs. Stokes 84, Butler 59, Neesham 3 for 43, Ferguson 3 for 50. England won after super over. In basketball, Russell Westbrook said his goodbyes at the Oklahoma City Thunder in a heartfelt message on social media, one day after reports surfaced that the 2017 MVP was being traded to Houston. He has spent his entire 11-year career with the Thunders and said it has been a dream to play for the franchise. According to NBA.com, Westbrook stated, "I am leaving Oklahoma with so many friends and much gratitude." Westbrook was the only remaining player from the Thunder's first season in Oklahoma City after the franchise moved from Seattle in 2008. The All-Star guard will rejoin with his old Thunder teammate James Harden in Houston, setting up one of the biggest backcourts in the NBA. Russell Brook is an 8-time NBA All-Star and was named the NBA's Most Valuable Player award in 2016 to 2017 season. In tennis, Simona Halep won her first Wimbledon title and crushed Serena Williams' latest bid for a record equaling 24th Grand Slam success with a 56-minute display of athleticism. The Romanian won 6-2, 6-2. Novak Djokovic saved 2 championship points and retained his Wimbledon title with a thrilling final set tie-break win over Roger Federer. On the center court, with an atmosphere that felt at times more akin to football than tennis, Djokovic won 7-6, 1-6, 7-6, 4-6, 13-12. It was the longest Wimbledon final at 4 hours and 57 minutes, with a Federer's error handling Djokovic's victory. The Serbian world number 1 has now won 16 Grand Slam titles. And finally, in football, Porto goalkeeper Iker Casillas has been given the role on the club's coaching staff as he continues his recovery from a heart attack suffered 2 months ago. The Portuguese side said Casillas' role is to ensure the connection between the players, the coach, and management. The Spain World Cup winner, 37, suffered an acute myocardial infarction during training in May. Casillas spent 5 days in the hospital after the heart attack and said at the time he did not know what the future will be. That's it for sports. The latest weather report is up next. The weather today, partly sunny with a 30% or low chance of showers. The weather tonight, partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Winds east at 22 to 37 kilometers per hour or 12 to 20 knots with frequent strong gusts. Seas 1.2 to 2 meters or 4 to 7 feet. A small craft caution is in effect for somewhat hazardous seas. Sunset today, 6:49 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:45 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Monday, July 15, 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, St. Kitts and Nevis and Taiwan signed TVET cooperation agreement, and police seize 11th illegal firearm for 2019, 3 persons taken into custody. Regionally, Barbados reverses visa-free access for Haitians. Internationally, South Africa's Jacob Zuma denies king of corruption. And in sports, England win first Cricket World Cup. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Daniel Moore, wishing you a pleasant evening.